You're probably not going to believe what is coming up. Just watch and listen. There is something here. my screen is just going on and off. So the first session that I did, somehow my microphone got muted. So I will replay. Unfortunately, you can't hear any of the DVPs that came through that time, or the stuff that was knocked over behind me, all of that. So, but I will replay them because I need to hear them.
Okay, just keep doing that to the screen. Can you do that again to the screen without me moving?
You could hear the phone when I started recording.
What else do you have to say?
I just want to point a few things out in regards to black devils. I deal with them all of the time. They are everywhere. People don't realize it, and they are very different than demons. The people I teach or teams that approach me ask me if a demon or a devil is worse, and it's always going to be a demon because they are fallen angels, and I have proved this. Devils are something else, and they look very different. And over the past week, I've had multiple encounters with them. I had to deal with them regarding case 689, and we had more EVPs coming in about what the angel saw on the property regarding black devils, let alone all of the demons and things like that. You can watch case 689 part 1 through 4. There is one other question coming up in regards to the Xbox and PlayStation in a different house regarding this case that you will see. Take note of that. Another thing that came up with black devils is a friend of mine who is a paranormal team leader in New York. Really wonderful person, really driven, and trying to learn as much as he can in the field. We were in conversation, and he asked me to take a listen to something he thought was saying his name, when in fact it was saying Black Devil, and it had to do with his basement, and we've been going over that privately. The other thing, I actually saw a black devil the other night. Prior to this session, I was trying to take a break from work because I typically work from 5 o'clock in the morning till about midnight. And I had to take a break that night after weeks of work and publishing another book. So I'm sitting at a table outside at one of my favorite places. It's called Spider House. And my friend is there with her beautiful dog that we just love so much, and another friend is there. I look over at this angel statue and I see something behind it, hiding. As I do this, the dog, who is completely out of character, starts to get upset, become upset, and whimper and cry and put his ears down, and he sits and he looks right at this statue, this angel statue that I'm looking at. And as I finally see this black devil, this dog, Indigo, sits down and completely reacts to this as well, as it shows itself to me. We're both seeing this, and there's two witnesses to this as well. And what they look like most of the time, from what I've seen with my eyes, and when I see them in my head as well, is they are small. They're kind of like a gremlin. They have gremlin-shaped faces, but they're all black. Even their eyes are black, but their skin is shiny. They're bizarre looking. They have very, very, very long arms, and they're anorexic looking as well. They're very deformed looking. They have these tiny little pointy tails that's about as long as a finger. I've encountered these things many times, and they're horrible little beasts. They cause bad things to happen. They make you trip a lot. They hide your things. They bang around on things. I knew that this thing hated me and was checking me out, because later, after the experience, a couple hours later, Indigo walked over to the area just fine, and he kept sniffing around behind the statue, exactly where I saw this thing. And I wound up falling down the stairs twice this same night, which was just absolutely bizarre, because I go up and down stairs every single day in my office and my home and other places, and it was crazy. They do a lot of different things. There's a lot of symptoms when one of these little devils are around. They're very bad, but they're not as close to as bad as legions of demons, demonic entities that are upper level. Okay. I think I heard all of that same stuff again. You just keep talking about that black devil. We're going to put this in reverse. Talk to me. You said ethereal children earlier. The ethereal children. Can you say it again? Thank you. PSB 11. Come through on this one for me. Spirits, come through with it like this. Okay, talk to me. You said earlier on the PSB7 that the attic is haunted. Are they still up there haunting it? Three dots. Talk to me about the attic. Angels, protector, spirits with me. What's in the attic? Is it haunted? You said haunted earlier. Demons? Do you have anything to say about the Stonehenge? And who kept turning the Xbox off? Are you still here? Are you still here with me? You turned it off 4 times. Good night. Thank you. And I cannot get this flashing to stop. My screen just keeps getting brighter and then dimming all on its own. So, okay. So, who kept turning the Xbox on and off, and what can you tell me about the haunting you spoke of on the PSP 7 that's in the attic? Thank you.
So, who kept turning the Xbox on and off, and what can you tell me about the haunting you spoke of on the PSP 7 that's in the attic?
What was that noise? I just heard you say something. I hear you tapping on things. Are you here? Are you next to me? Walk up and touch this. Touch it for me. Touch it right here. Oh, wow, I hear that. Who's on the stairs? Scarlett? Who's on the stairs? really hope my microphone got that. Who's on the stairs? Okay, that probably the loudest phenomenon I've gotten on the stairs. Okay. Let's play that back.
Protector, P8, are you with me?
Okay. Before I begin, any spirits, meaning angels and ethereal beings and the dead. Earlier during my reading for someone, you came through loud and clear and said, I am dead. Talk to me now. What was it? Okay. Okay, I'm going to grab my camera so that we may do this. Nope, I heard that. Did those candles just dim? Okay. Okay. Let's begin. Who was it that said, I am dead earlier?
Who was it that said I am dead earlier? Who was it that said I am dead earlier?
I would like to do a little test with you, if you wouldn't mind. I'll leave the recorders running as I do this. And put this back here. Okay. Alright. I'm going to leave the recorders running while I pray for you. What I want you to do, if you can and if you're willing, is swing this little fluffy paper thing back and forth. Oh, I hear you knocking on things. Okay, I'm going to hit record while I pray for you. Beginning now. Can you swing it back and forth for me? I'm sorry if that is a lot to ask. Really odd. You're not saying much. I'm not used to that. I'm gonna push play on these in a moment. Okay.
Get it now. Bring it back and forth for me.
Okay.
Beginning now. Can you swing it back and forth for me? I'm sorry if that's so long to ask.
Who has laid claim to this property? Why is it so silent?
Who has laid claim to this property? Why is it so silent?
Is it because of the Ouija board? Do you want me to use the Ouija board?
Is it because of the Ouija board? Do you want me to use the Ouija board?
Alright, it looks about good. Let's see if you can make this swing. This little pendant right there. Well, feel free to do that at any point. Okay. Where are you? Can you not move things? The ghostly entity that's here? hope that you find peace. And I hope that you found the light like you were looking for. I'm going to stop here and go over what I do have. Okay, so basically what I'm wondering is if I think that hell is earth, because I've never seen spirits be able to cross over without some kind of psychic or medium, and they're usually blessed by God from all of the EVPs that they tell me. And then today the spirits prayed, but they were denied by heaven. And then God talks about this, fallen angels being sent to a pit of darkness until Judgment Day. What if hell is earth and it on the other side is the pit of darkness, and that's how they're able to mess with us? And then on top of that, the spirits always say they see darkness, and they don't see anything, most of them, until they see the light. And it's usually the gifted person, which the angels say have powers and are blessed. And it's usually that gifted person with powers that has the light that these spirits say that they can see the light with.
Well, scientists are always talking about how there's, probably more than, 3 and 4 dimensions, that there's other dimensions that we just can't perceive that are right around us all the time. So things can be happening around us and we don't even know it, because it's in another, in a higher dimension than what we are. So I don't know. And like you said, the spirits are always talking about how, demons are collecting them. And
yeah, they always tell me that. They tell me that they hold them hostage. Other psychics, famous ones that I've met, like Chip Coffey and other people, they said they've witnessed this. I've witnessed this. Even at the Devil House in my book, when I wrote about that, I was constantly seeing spirits, and then something would interfere with that, and then that's when I came face to face with the demon. And, there's just so many things that if you add it to these EVPs, it really makes sense. It's just like some, scientific researchers in the paranormal, or the ones who are, spirit enthusiasts or paranormal enthusiasts who don't really know what they're doing, that don't actually communicate with the other side and document it. They all think that the EVPs are just, other beings, human souls and angels and other things manipulating the audio, but it's not. It's their actual voices. Otherwise, clients wouldn't even be able to recognize voices, including myself, and I can tell the difference with their voices, especially an ethereal being versus a ghostly soul, which they sound very different, and the ghostly ones are more faint. It's very rare that they are as clear as the ethereal beings. So there's just a lot to think about here, and all of these EVPs and this are really kind of validating even more of this for me, and I have more study. I mean, I've got books everywhere right now in my office and in my bed every night. I'm just going through all of my notes and things from the years. So I don't know. It's just interesting to kind of piece it all together from what people with what they call powers, psychic abilities, things like that, what we witness, and then all of this, everything they're saying right now, and then on top of that, they're always telling me to help kill the demons, help fight the demons, and sometimes they scream, and I'm like, where's the angels? Because I can't see them all the time. And then I'll feel them when they're not close, when they're not near me. I can feel the difference, and I can't hear them as well. And they'll say, we're protecting you. Malik is over here fighting the demon, and then they'll talk about the other angels, and then the spirits that are standing with me where they're safe from these demons. They're always claiming that come after them. The spirits will say, we can see the angels. We see the angels battling the demons, things like that, over all these sessions that I've had of crossing spirit. Earth is hell, because I always wondered, well, if they're being sent to this pit of darkness for to wait until Judgment Day. Why are they getting out of this prison and coming to us in this world, on this side of the veil? Then I'm like, earth must be hell, because our next life is what happens after this, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
They say we learn all of these things, and then that's when we get to go to the place we're supposed to be, which is the heavens. And that when we asked, if you go to heaven, can you ever get kicked out? They said, no, it's unbelievable. You'll never leave. It's just amazing to me.
Well, maybe heaven's here too. Maybe heaven's just another dimension of that we can't see it.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I know angels are here. We have ethereal entities. There's some, I don't even know what they are, and I know that they're not angels. There's something else, and they said they were forbidden to tell me by the Lord. That was the only thing out of thousands of questions that they could never answer. Out of thousands and thousands of questions over the years, just thousands. Even for people across the world, for myself, for clients, that was the only question that they could not answer. Was I asked, who the 8 were, because I know they're not angels. There's something above the angels. That's all that they would give me. And I haven't, it's just strange. I don't know. I know that they just said that they were forbidden to tell me by the Lord. I still have that recorded as well.
Do you believe in chosen ones?
Absolutely not. I mean, let me rephrase that. I believe Jesus was a chosen one, and he was born, and it was prophesized, by God, and I will never underestimate the power of God. But I don't believe in chosen ones. I don't believe I'm a chosen one or that anyone else is. I just feel like God is helping us fight the dark, fight demons, diabolical, demonic, horrific, petrifying things. And I've written about my experiences in my book, and I work with cases that are pretty bad, and it really just comes down to God is giving us tools and blessings and miracles to help teach us and get us through this to where we can go on to the afterlife. This is all one big lesson. We're just climbing our way out of a book and, trying to get to paradise. And, there's not maybe everyone has gifts, maybe everyone doesn't. And even if everyone has them, they're all going to be significantly different and unique to each person and their experiences, with the common underlying experiences and things like that. So there's a lot to learn and teach from all of this. But as far as chosen ones, no, I don't really believe in that. I believe everybody should help each other. And, even in the Bible, though, too, it says that angels are sent to people who believe. And it makes sense because of all of the studies and cases and research that I've done on actual people in religions and in biblical research and things like that. But also it said that angels are here as messengers, but also to fight diabolical evil and human evil. So there are people who are evil.